Getting great. If you don't know, especially in the sports world, we have World Cup starting this. That started, I think, Thursday or Friday. We have the Knicks. If you all watch that Knicks final, that playoff. I mean, if you are in any space creating something, doing anything, trying to overcome obstacles, that playoff right there should be an instigator for you and a motivation for you to never give up in spite of the situation, no matter how big it may look. Because let me tell you something, these little boys, they're not little boys, but these men, they fought for that championship. And to see them come back to do that was, if that doesn't speak to you, and that's one of the reasons I watch sports, because it gives you see it on the court or whatever it is, but it also helps you strategize for your life and how to succeed in life. And they just came back. There was like a 20, is it 33 deficit or something in that fourth game, and they came fourth game, and they came back and they won it. I mean, 1 point, but they won it. And they came back last night and they took the whole thing over, in spite of that tall guy that was giving them, I want to mention names, but that obstacle they had from the other team that was wearing them out. They decided, we are going to take this, we're going to win this. And I didn't know how long it's been. It's been 53 years since New York has won. And I've been a fan of usually, well, Lakers are, that's my main team, but you always saw the Knicks growing up in the 80s and the 90s, whatever. And we knew they were a big team. So I just knew they had gotten a couple under their belt. I mean, even though the Lakers were the main things right there and the Bulls were the main things right there, but I just knew they got one or two. Nothing since 1970, is 1973, I think they said. I wasn't even born yet. I was like, good God, have mercy. 53 years. And they came back and did that thing. And I am so glad. I'm like, let me tell you something. You're all in the street celebrating. I'm celebrating. Like I mean, I love this, the state of New York, because I've been there. My family's been there and all that kind of stuff. But like, I was born there, but I was just celebrating. I was like, oh my goodness. But just to see the way they won it. And that's to tell you, never give up. So when we come out here this week, our theme, because we're in a series for June for empowered value, and this week it was giving value, giving back value. And if you're following us on TikTok, on Facebook, and Instagram, you will see the different promos that we do, the different reels or the videos or whatever, or the post-its that we do on LinkedIn. You'll see the different thing, but the whole theme was for this week, giving value. And that just blessed my spirit, because sometimes people are struggling, and that's one of the things that draws me to try to liberate people from human trafficking, is when you think your back's against the wall and everything's done and the whole world, it seems like you're not coming out of it. There goes God with a liberation, with somebody to help you up, with some strategy, with something to help you get up from there and win in whatever situation he wants you to win in. And that is just the best lesson that we can learn in life. Never give up, trust God, and see what he can do for your life. And that game, and then I'm right along with the World Cup and the soccer, and it's just, or we just have stuff going on all over the place in the U.S. in the U.S. for the summer, but we're enjoying it. And if you're not, then yes, you need to get somewhere and enjoy it. But it's just a wonderful thing to see people put their all on the line, their whole lives, their whole careers in these sports, and they fight to win, and then they come out with the victory. It just blesses my heart. And some of them end up crying and all that, because it's just how much it took out of them. And to see they finally get to celebrate. And that just blesses our heart. And that's what can happen for you too, when you stand up for what God says. When you say, God, you said this, I'm not giving up. I'm going to do exactly what you said for me to do. And we're going to keep going until the cow comes home. Oh my God. Anyway, that's what it is. So that's what we have here. And I hope you're celebrating. And that's what we're fighting for, to help people understand you have purpose. God has a plan for your life. Don't give up. He is there. And if he says it, you could do it. Don't ever give up. Okay. Our vlog for this week, if you check it out, remember it comes out at 8 a.m. every Friday. And this week's theme, like I said, is based on the series you're doing, is feedback as a gift. And a lot of times we don't see feedback as a gift. If you see most of the Instagram stuff, the social media asking for comments, which is there we're saying feedback. Some people don't want it, but when you see the comments for different posts or different things that are made, some are positive, some are negative. And some people, I mean, all of us are human. We won't really like the negatives. But if you get the perspective of a learner and understanding that even the things that are not necessarily what you like are there to teach you and to make you stronger. So then you could see, and a lot of businesses, they like either way, because then they get to see what the public thinks about what they're doing. And if it's a negative, they get to say, okay, probably we need to look at this area and fix it up. Now, there's some negatives that you just have to let go, because that's why you have to have discernment. People are evil, have evil intentions. They want to say things to knock you down, whatever. You have to know the difference there. But once you look at that, you could see, even with the people who have the negative intentions, you could see, well, probably there's an area that we need to tweak to make sure that that person never has that comment to say again, because we have covered that section. It always gives you insight into what's going on in your audience, insight what's going on in the world, insight what's going on, how you can make things better. So feedback is a gift, but we have to see it like that. We have to have that perspective about it. And some people cannot take credit. They like a lot of yes people and all that next to them. And if you like a lot of yes people, you're going for a serious downfall somewhere down the road. Because if everybody has to tell you yes and they can't tell you, well, this may not be the best, or you may want to tweak it here, or you want to do that here, you have to be willing to hear those things because they help. Okay. And then when you get that, now you know what you could build on. Now you know where you can make a little stronger. Now you know what you can add here or take out here or whatever. And it makes for a better business, a better family, a better product, a better nation, a better everything. Organization, whatever you're doing, to have that ability to hear people's feedback. But the most important thing, you have to have discernment to discern what is a good feedback and what is not. Even in the negatives, how to use that negative to come out on the positive end of things. So feedback is a gift, and we need to see it that way, and almost kind of like relish almost like want to hear it, want to see what it is, and that will help you succeed in life in anything you're doing. Proverbs 11:14 says, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is what? Safety. Where no counsel is, the people fall. And we've heard about the falls all over the place. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. We want that safety that God wants to give us. We want that wisdom that God wants to give us. We want that blessing, that safety net, so that if we see, oh, something's going wrong here, somebody can catch it and we can work together to bless. If you watch that team play, some people were mentioning it. It was one of the best teamwork situations I've seen in a long time, because they were just, like this one guy that scored in the fourth game, the guy threw, it was a 3-pointer, but the guy didn't make it. Now the other guy came from wherever there, and he saw it wasn't going in, and he was right there to hit the rebound and put it in, and that was the game winner. A lot of times we see things and we see people, oh, they're doing it, they'll handle it, they'll do this. No, yeah, they'll handle it, but it could be the one day where they may drop the ball a little bit, or they may fumble here or do something here. You have to be there. The other team members have to be there to say, we're going to pick this up and make sure the ball goes in. Make sure we get the win for this. And that's what teamwork is, working together and using each other's strengths to build up and to make sure we get the win. We get the W. And some people, they'll say that, oh, if somebody fumbles, they'll be quick to criticize. Yeah, but criticize, but what did you do? You should have been there to catch it, to make sure that it went into the basket. That is the whole point of a team, because everybody's not going to make every shot every time. Some people may make 199% of the shot, and that one time they don't make it is the time they need to make it. And you could be sitting there saying, oh my God, as opposed to being there to help them put it in. See, that's the part that we miss about it. And that's what blessed my heart about that team, because they were just putting the ball in left, right, and center. And if this one messed up, and then when the guy that was giving them a whole bunch of trouble, he was hitting them all over the place, they just decided to team up on him and get him. And they just got him. Yes, they did. Whether they dodged his ball or dodged his hit or whatever, or hit him or whatever they did, until they were able to conquer that obstacle and win the whole playoff. So that's what we have to, in life. The devil's going to throw a whole bunch of balls at us, a whole bunch of obstacles, but we have to team with God and team with the Holy Ghost to say, we are going to get this. Oh, if you're in an organization or a business, whatever it is that you're doing, come together and decide we're going to back each other up to make sure we make this. Because we can't give the devil no clout over here. We ain't about talking about it. We're about being about it. And that's what teamwork does. And when we have that mindset, then we're working together and we have accountability and we're talking to each other and we say, okay, this you're tight over there. We're going to come in and fill in the gap right there to make sure that you make it over here. And so that's the mark of an excellent or productive company or group or whatever you want to call it. Any group that's succeeding, if you look behind the curtain, you'll see unity and backing each other up and working together with the same goal in mind to get to the same finish line. And if you have that, you have, if not all the qualities needed to win, you have most of it, because that is so important. And backing each other up and making sure we're going to get this. We're going to get this. We're not leaving here without this. And all of us are coming together to make sure that we get the win. So that's what blessed my spirit. So when you're looking for group work and you're trying to do it, make sure you have a mindset of, okay, we need some feedback here. What is the view of our audience? What do they think about what's going on here? What is the view of the people working together to do this? What's the feedback? How do you feel about this? And be able to take whatever is happening there and turn it around and work together to do whatever needs to be done to get the win with that information. Okay. One thing I liked, and if you check the vlog out, you'd have gotten that from it. They were, let me see, let me try to go there for a minute. How they were, I think they were trying to figure out. Some person was saying, there's one phrase I like that we said there. The best piece of feedback I ever received was simple, direct, and quietly transformative. Ship the idea, not the perfection. Ship the idea, not the perfection. A lot of times, like if you're like me, you want perfection. You want to see things go well. You want to see them go excellently. And you have to get out of that mindset sometimes. Not that you don't want it to be done perfectly, but you have to say, okay, I need to push this through. It may not come out perfectly, but we need to get it through and see how we can tweak the different things that happens. Because sometimes if you sit there and wait for it to be perfect, you will never put it out. And that is one of the biggest hindrance of a lot of organizations, a lot of people and creators and whatever. They won't want to put anything out because they want to be perfect. And you wait and you wait and you wait. And sometimes some people never do it because there's never going to be a perfect moment. There's going to be something where it's maybe close to it, but you have something that you can add, and you can add it later on. But waiting for the perfect moment may keep you back or hinder you from creating something and having people give you feedback along the way so you can make it better. But at least you got it out there. And so you have to be very, very aware of that we're not constantly doubting ourselves. And that's what we were talking about in the podcast. You doubt yourself so much that you keep yourself from doing anything. Because you're constantly, oh, I need to do this. And I'm one like that. I'm definitely like that. And I have to watch that in myself and try to, okay, it's not going to be perfect. You want to get it out there, but do the best you can. And if put it out there, and if it's not perfect, then you can go back and tweak it. But don't sit there for years and years and years trying to do something and it never gets done because you're busy worrying about every little nit, and you're nitpicking and you're doing all these different things and it's never getting done. That's not. We want to get something out there. We want to get it. It may not be as perfect as it can, but get it to a place where it can bring benefit to others, and it can fulfill what we needed to fulfill. Okay, another thing we had in there was a mentor, someone who watched projects stall under the weight of almost. Someone who watched projects stall under the weight of almost pointed out that my pursuit of a flawless product was preventing real world learning, delaying value, and shrinking opportunities to iterate. Is it iterate? Yeah, to iterate with actual users. So because you're waiting and saying, oh, it's not going to come out. So you're talking to yourself, and you're talking to yourself, oh, this is wrong. We have to, and all this is being done with yourself, but you're not interacting with the other people that could give you the real feedback of what everybody's thinking about your product, or what they need from your product, or what value that it's giving to them. So you're not getting the feedback of others, staying back there by yourself. And so you'll never get the full power of what it is you're creating. So it's good to put things out there at the best that you can, and then see what other people are saying about it so you can tweak it better. And I've heard many entrepreneurs or successful business people that they said when they did it, it wasn't the best, but it was good. It was good enough to go out there. And then when they heard what people thought about it, they were able to make the necessary tweaks to get it to the place where it is today in its successful situation. So that's something we have to be very careful of. Wanting excellence is not the same as perfectionism, because I'm not even sure if you can ever attain perfectionism, perfectionism, whatever that is. I'm not sure if you can attain that. You want to, but you may never be able to attain it, but you can attain excellence. You can work towards excellence. And if you work towards excellence, it will get better and better and better and better and better until it may get to the perfect state. But at least you're out there with a product that brings value and increases the lives of others. And you have to have that in your mindset. Okay. Why it mattered, it reframed quality as a process, not a one-time finish line. Delivering something usable starts the feedback loop that leads to refinement. Refinement. We want continuous refinement as opposed to thinking it's going to be perfect. Next, it reduced the fear of not enough. Shipping means exposing work to realities that reveal what truly matters. So you put it out there to reveal what truly matters, not necessarily to think it's going to be perfect, perfect, perfect. Then it accelerated outcomes. Small real world experiments compound faster than solitary perfectionism. Small real world experiments compound faster than solitary perfectionism. So you put it out there and test it out, like just like we do with our stewarded moments. We put it out there and we say, okay, like I said, don't start with the. I don't. Some people want to start with a big amount. I just start at $5, and if it works, then I can do some more. That's just me, especially if I'm iffy about a situation. But if that's the same thing with what you're doing, if you want to do something and you're not sure about it, put a little tester on it, put a little situation on it, put it in a little a smaller business or a little group of your friends and test it out there, or a group of your family members, and test it out there and see what it's like. So then you're getting the feedback from everybody else as opposed to just you and your self-doubt and all that stuff that's going to come with it, and all the thoughts and overthinking and everything. Put it out there, let other people give the real feedback, because that's what's going to matter in the end. It's what the customer is saying about your product. It's what people are saying about the services that you provide. And so you have to put a little tester out there instead of just thinking, oh my God, it's not perfect, but you don't know what people are saying about it. You know what I mean? And so when you may be overthinking something and the people are happy with what you have, but you'll never know because you're not putting it out there. Okay, so that's a good thing. The application, begin using minimum viable outputs, proposals, prototypes, pilots, deliberately imperfect but functional. I like that. You want things to be deliberately in your tester, deliberately imperfect but functional. Next, create tighter feedback checkpoints, like early demos or brief user interviews or quick metrics. So each release informed the next. So and do these little feedback checkpoints. It helps you to increase in certain areas, to tweak certain areas, what to do, what not to do. And then another one, rebalance my standards, clarity, utility, and momentum outranked cosmetic polish in early stages. So make sure it's something that's clear, it's able to be used, and the momentum outranked making something that just looks pretty. You see what I'm saying? Because we could be thinking, oh, we want to be, and if you're like me, aesthetics it matters to me, but it's not, that's not all that should matter. It has to be usable, it has to be clear, and it has to have momentum behind it. Okay, so these are the little things. So these are things that we're putting together, and I hope you enjoy it, because it's really can help you understand how to do what you do better. You know what I mean? And to listen for what the feedback is, and to see. Sometimes it's not even the hearing, it's seeing what the feedback is, and that can help you in better creativity, in creating something with more value, so that your users really get everything that you want them to get, really get benefit from what you're doing and what you're producing. Okay, the result, projects moved faster, teams felt empowered to iterate, and stakeholders saw tangible progress instead of waiting on a mythical finished product. The work became better because it was exposed to real constraints and real opinions sooner. Trust the process, trust the God process. See, but if you just stay in there and you say, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and you're still there tweaking, people are waiting on it, something else will come. They'll just say, okay, let me go over here, because this thing may not even come to pass. It may never come out. When is it going to come out? But if you put it out of the way just to test it, and they can see it, and even if they like or they don't like it, it can tell you what needs to be tweaked, so you could tweak it and do better. The work became better because it was exposed to real constraints, real life problems and situations, and real opinions sooner. Very important. And for me, I'm telling you all these things because I've learned these things, okay? So it's not like these are the things we've learned, so we put it out there. And real life stuff will tell you. Sometimes you have these things in your head, it's going to go this way, that way, and then you put it out there and it's like, whoa, what is that? I didn't expect that one. Because when it's out there, real life situations hit it. whether it's something you're doing in the outdoors and then a rainstorm comes or sun or whatever happens with the weather and you realize, oh, it's not built for that thing. We need to prepare by having something instead in case this weather comes up and it shuts it down. So you it's just different things that show up that you didn't expect. There was something I was doing that happened. We didn't expect it. We did it, and we thought about everything but that. Like, well, wait a minute. Oh yeah, even our creation of our Soar Fresh, a drink, a new drink that we have out there, a Liberate drink. And when we put it out there, we are like, oh, because it sparkles and everything, but didn't think about the bottle. We because I went in a glass bottle because we're hearing about the tin. People talk about metal, the tin, and the metal situation. So all these things we have to think about because we're like we don't want to give something that's not healthy because everything is natural. We have no artificial anything, and that's another thing because it's not artificial. It can't stay on the shelves as long. There's no preservatives going on there. So that's another thing when we make it. That's why we tell you when you make it, it's like small batches and it has to go out right away. And so we know all this, and we don't. Yeah, we do it in a small batch at a time. We don't do a whole bunch of because we can't leave it a long time. It lasts a long time, but it could go bad. So you have to think about all that. But and we thought about we wanted the glass bottle, it's the healthier thing, or whatever, and we can get them at a good rate, whatever. But didn't think about the sparkling effect. The sparkling effect we thought about to a point, and we thought we'd done everything as far as keeping it secure and everything until we put it in the mail. And we mailed it out, we put it in the bag, we put all the bubble stuff in there to keep it secure and everything, and we sent it out, and the thing exploded. And I was like, oh my God. And it was a nice little package. It was cute. The thing exploded. One sent the two different people, but one person was more effective in telling us what happened. So right away we got that feedback. Oh my God. And that's the whole thing. I wanted to be sparkling because I love that factor about it. And it's not like sodas that are bad for you. It's healthy carbonation, everything. So we want that because But at the same time, we need to make sure it gets to the people. So we had to go and do a whole bunch of research. So that's why now we learned about the white glove. You have to deliver it by a courier and you have to make sure it's secure and all these other things that we have to add and tweak so that we can get it to you and it can make it to you so you can actually drink it because it's good. But if it didn't get to you, you're not going to be able to drink it. So these are things we had to put out in the real world. And I thought we'd done everything because we got the bottle, we make sure it wasn't leaking, it was leak proof, and we covered it and we do all that good stuff. And then the other one, the large size, comes in a wine bottle. So it's like, it has the cork and everything, and we sealed that thing. The thing still came back. I said, "Oh my God!" So we had to go and get a new cover, a new kind of stopper for it, and everything, and then figured out how to get the white glove couriers that can pack it the same way. And we had to get this foam situation now. So when we send it, you're going to see a whole kind of a sealable situation. And that's because when we put it in the real world situation, we realized, well, wait a minute, it's still popping. But we're able to tweak. If we didn't do that real life thing, and I always like, that's why I told you, I like to start with a $5 situation, send it to friends and family, whatever, make sure they see what's going on so we can get that feedback. And not knowing it was the post office that had the feedback. So these are the things that said you have to do when you're doing any kind of business, any kind of event. Oh, forget the events. The events are a whole different level. I mean, you think when we do all these Fava Festival, it's serious. I mean, serious. And we have to do we have to do much with little. And that's what we do as a small company. So we have to figure out how to get the biggest impact for the lowest cost because we ain't got the money like everybody has got, at least not yet, in Jesus' name. So we have to figure out what to do as the biggest impact with the lowest effort, the lowest cost. And that's a very important thing you have to do. So these are things when you go in the real world, like, well, this could happen, that